I'm using 60 grit right now and just knocking off the high spots. Whenever I do any fairing again in the future, I will try to make sure that I don't have like these gouges and the stuff sticking up on here. But the 60 grit is knocking that down, and the only thing you got to be careful of is that I don't get too aggressive and try to, get everything all smooth all at once. I've got it good enough that I can now go either to 60 grit for a little bit or even 120 and probably get the rest of that knocked down. Now there's some places here where I haven't hit it all yet. As you'll remember up here at the bow, these bow sections were absolutely the worst. So it's really caked on there. And I was just using a little putty knife when I put it on there, and the result is just all kinds of marks and scratches. I will use a much wider blade. In fact, I did later on in the application of the fairing compound, used a wider tool at more of a 4 or 6 inch. Here's what I'm talking about on the other side. I've got this sanded down. It's really pretty smooth. There's just a few little places. I'm going to take the little flexible sander thing that I made. That's this deal here. And I'll do a little video and talk about how I made this. It's just a longboard sander with a sticky back tape that I got from an auto body supply place. I think that's 150 that's on there. Well, I had thought good things about this Master Force sander, and I had it almost 3 weeks, and yes, I've been running it hard, but it shot craps on me. The more I sand, the more I am figuring out some things to look for on this. You can see this here where it's still real dark green. It's rough to the touch. And then the other thing I'm noticing is where there's like a hard edge here, that generally you can feel a ridge, and I can. Obviously up here there's places that it's just real rough. One of the other things that happened when I was doing this is when I was putting it on is my spatula or whatever would leave little lines. Let's see if I can find one. I thought I just saw one. Yeah, right here. There's just a trowel line or a spatula line. Now, running my finger over that, I can just barely feel a groove in there. So it just needs to be sanded more. And so this side, I'm going to have to go back over. I did make my own kind of longboard sander. I took my hole saw and put it in the drill press over there. And just took some 2x4, some pine, 2x4 and 1x, and I cut, I cut a couple of circles out, and then I glued those together and sanded them off real good. I ran a bolt through the pilot hole and put the bolt up in the drill press and kind of made my own little lathe, if you will, and was able to turn those. And then I took my Titebond 3 and glued these together and glued them to this. Now this board is just a piece of my 3mm Okumi that I had from when I made the kayak. Just a little leftover scrap. And then I got some real thin cork. I think I got it at Home Depot. glued a real thin piece of cork on the bottom of this dude, and then went to an automotive paint store and got some sticky back strip sandpaper. I'll show you the box. This high-tech abrasives, and it's just in here on a roll, and then see, it's sticky on the back. You don't have to even peel it off of there or anything. It's already sticky. You just cut it with the scissors, and then it just sticks right on that little sander. I got another one that's a 220, and so anyway, that's tedious hard work. And I'm back to this little Skill sander. I've had this for several years. In fact, I sanded the entire canoe with it. I don't know why I thought I needed to go buy that Master Force. That's quite a sad story. Now we're over to this other side, and I had mentioned that, you know, when you see some hard edges, that's where you know that you've got a ridge. And so if it starts looking kind of like this, where it's almost looks like a cloud, puffy, then this is real smooth. Conversely, let's see up here. Yeah, right here. See where there's that little notch in there and that hard edge? Yeah, there's a little ridge to it. I'm going to have to go back over that with a sander. It's not bad, but it's not smooth. The other thing I'm noticing is there's still a few of these little places. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of shiny. There aren't very many of them left because I keep going over them. But those typically, if they're shiny, it's just little divots in there. Just little teeny tiny imperfections. So this has really come along. This side now is down to 120. I need 60 degrees before I can reprime this. We're getting close. I don't know how perfect I want to get it. See, I still see those shiny spots up there. I'll just go back over it. We're going to hit this with 220, at least take it to 220. And there she is. All right, more later. Thanks for watching. And as always, if you like, hit like and/or subscribe. Also, look for Jenkins Boat Works on Facebook too.